Jai Sitaram. We're going to go through the recap of chapters 12 and 13 of Ayodhya Khand. 12 and 13th chapters of this wonderful canto talk about King Dashratha's heightened response to when he hears that Rama has to go off into the forest. Since chapters 12 and 13 are continuous chapters, it is necessary for us to see the cogency of King Dashratha's arguments in here. So, let us go through it. The first thing that Dashratha says is he suffers a great deal of agony. He thinks maybe it is confusion of mind or maybe some disease has taken place. And then he faints, and then he gets up, and then he utters what a pity, and then he faints again. So this is the second faint. And then he says, what mistake has either Rama or he ever conducted against Kaikeyi? Rama has been treating Kaikeyi exactly the way he treats his own mother. And then Dashratha says that without understanding that she is a female snake with a fiery poison, he has embraced her and now his own house is in perdition. So, when the whole world is extolling the virtues of Rama, what is the mistake for which Rama has to be abandoned? And he questions this multiple times. What is the mistake in Rama? And then he says that if he doesn't see Rama, he will fall unconscious. That means that he's trying to show how much he loves Lord Rama. He says that the world can exist without the sun and crops without water, but life cannot continue in his body without Rama. And now he says that he is willing to place his head at her feet. Please be gracious. Praseed me. Please be gracious. And then he says, if you want to ascertain whether Dashratha is feeling nice towards Bharata, that should be fine. And if you want me to make sure that something is okay, that's fine. But still, are you tormenting me because an evil spirit has controlled you? Why is this happening? In this great Ikshvaku race, which is rich in his good conduct, why has this misfortune appeared? Because your mind is perverted. Earlier, she has never done anything that is repugnant to King Dashratha. So now, why is she behaving contrary to how she used to behave before? Previously, Kaikeyi has mentioned multiple times that Bharata and Rama are equal in her eyes. How did that change? For 14 years, how can she just bear to see the wonderful, pious Rama go off into the forest? That very Rama who has done more service to her than her own son Bharata. Therefore, seeking some very specific turn for Bharata makes no sense because Rama is the one who has been serving her more than Bharata. And then he says that Rama's conduct is so pure that not the millions of people in his employ can ever say anything against him. Rama can capture everyone with his wonderful actions. So he can conquer men by his virtue, the poor through his charity, and the elders by his service, and the enemies by his bow. So every wonderful quality, satyam, danam, tapah, tyaga, saucham, arjavam, vidya, guru shushrusha, dhruva, everything is there in Lord Rama. So how can you even think about sending Rama off into the forest? Not once has Rama spoken an unkind word. And now, for Kaikeyi's sake, Dashratha has to break this unpalatable news to Rama. Rama, in whom all great qualities such as Kshama, Dama, Tyaga, Satyam, Dharma, Kritagnyata ahimsa, all of these wonderful qualities exist. And to that particular Rama, we have to harm him. And now Dashrata says, I'm an old and a miserable man, and I'm coaxing you once again. What can be attained on earth? Everything I will give you. Just don't take me away from Rama. I'm folding my hands. This is the third time he says this. I'm folding my hands. I'm even touching your feet. You protect Rama. Do not let unrighteousness hold sway of me. Now, Kaikeyi is exceptionally angry. So what does she say? Her heart is not at all moved by the fact that her old husband, who loves her so much, is falling unconscious, and he's praying again and again. Punaha, punaha. He's praying again and again, wailing and weeping and burning with sorrow. He's tossing about here and there, and he's praying again and again. But such words have got no effect on her at all. Then Kaikeyi says, if you do not give me the boons, how can you be known as a dharmajna? Don't you forget that I protected you, and now you don't want to give me what is my due? And thanks to you, all the kings have attained a very bad name because you are not granting my boons. Remember Shibi, how he gave his flesh to a bird, and remember how Alarka parted with his eyes for a Brahmana who requested them. But we have already seen that neither Shibi nor Alarka's story is actual analogy for what is happening right now. She also talks about the ocean having given a promise never crosses its limits. So Kaikeyi's words are twisted. She is not using the correct analogy, and she is picking and choosing exactly what she wants. She's saying that Shibi gave off his flesh. Why can't you give me the kingdom? She says that Alarka gave off his eyes. Why can't you give me the kingdom? But neither Shibi, nor Alarka, nor Ocean promised something on someone else's behalf, which is exactly what Kaikeyi is demanding Dashrata do. That he promise on Rama's behalf that Rama goes off into the forest. If she had said, Dashrata, you go to the forest, Dashrata might have happily acceded to this. He might have said, okay, fine, I'm willing to go to the forest. But the analogy is not correct over here. Shibi did not have to ask someone else to give the flesh. He gave his own. Alarka did not ask someone else to give the eyes to the Brahmana. He gave his own. Now Dashrata has to promise that Rama has to go off into the forest. So how is this a proper analogy? And then she twists and says that now when Rama is on the throne, Kaushalya will be the queen mother, so you want to sit down and enjoy with her. Whether it is righteous or whether it is unrighteous, whether it is real or a lie, there should be no change in the promise. You promised me my 2 boons, and I need my 2 boons. And if Rama is crowned the king, I will die right before your very eyes by drinking poison. If I see Kaushalya getting any salutations, and I swear to you by Bharata and by myself that I will not be pleased by anything else other than sending Rama off into the exile. And then she did not reply anymore. And King Dashrata listens to these words, and he could not even say anything. He could not move his lips. He could not wink. Is this his beloved Kaikeyi who's speaking such disagreeable words? Is she saying such words that are filling him with great pain and sorrow and that are terrible as a thunderbolt? The only thing King Dashrata knows is he says Rama, and then he falls off like a tree that is cut off. The king becomes like a madman. He has lost his equilibrium and is almost like a serpent losing its fierceness. And then he looks at Kaikeyi and he says, who taught you that this worthless thing is actually worthwhile? You are perverted by an evil spirit. You are not even feeling any shame to speak to me. In the beginning, I never knew who you were, and right now I'm seeing you for who you truly are. Why are you so afraid? Due to which you want Bharata to be seated on the throne and Rama to go off on her exile? If you want to do something that is beneficial for your husband, for the world, and to your beloved Bharata, ensure that Rama is seated on the throne and he's not sent on an exile. What mistake do you see in Rama or in myself? Do you think that Bharata will take over the kingdom? Because Bharata is stronger in virtue than even Rama. And now, how am I supposed to tell Rama, you go off to the forest? How am I supposed to say this to my beloved Rama? And what will all the kings say? This Dasharatha was a fool for ruling for such a long time. When the learned and the elders asked me about Rama, what am I supposed to tell them? That for your sake I sent him off to the forest? Everyone will think that this is the lie. What will happen to Kaushalya? What am I supposed to say? Kaushalya has treated me like a mother, like a friend, like a maidservant, like a wife, a sister. And all of this I did not reciprocate because of fear of hurting you. Now I'm supposed to hurt her? What is going to happen to Sumitra? How will she put any faith on me? And what is going to happen to Sita? Because she has to suffer my death and Rama's refuge in the forest. How will she survive? And looking at Sita's lamentation, I cannot live anymore. And now, deprived of your husband, you can go ahead and rule the kingdom with your beloved son. You are actually a bad wife, and you are but a poison. And though attractive, you're actually obnoxious. You used to speak very beautiful, soothing words only to hurt me so grievously. And people on the streets will condemn me just as how a Brahmana drinks wine. This is certain. You have troubled me because of some great evil that I have done in my past life. The rope that is used for hanging my neck, that is who you are, and you I have been maintaining so lovingly. I did not recognize you to be death. I did not think that you are a cobra and I touched you. All the living beings are supposed to curse me because the great soul Rama is now going to go off into the forest like an apitrika, like a fatherless son. He has to go off into the forest. And why? Because his foolish father was very lustful towards a woman. Rama, who is great in the study of the Vedas and in his service to his gurus, has to now undergo great hardship. Rama will not say anything to me. If I say Rama go off to the forest, he will just say, okay, so be it. I wish that he would go against me, but he would not. This much I know. And once Rama goes off into the forest, I will go to Yama, the god of punishment. Queen Kaushalya will follow, Sumitra will follow, and all the three other sons will all be in the tortures of hell. But you go ahead and be happy. And now that Ikshvaku dynasty has been abandoned by both Dasharatha as well as Rama, you will just do nothing but bring about disorder. And if Bharata is agreeable to this treacherous act of yours, then let him not give me funeral rites. Which means that Dasharatha was willing to spend an eternity in hell rather than get a sip of water from a person who is a non-Rama Bhakta. So this is a very important statement. And then he once again calls her as Hanta Nyare, then Amitre, Sakama Bhava. So many wonderful qualities he attributes to Kaikeyi. And then he says, you go ahead and be a widow and rule with your son. And you are nothing but a perpetrator of sins. And then he says, my Rama was walking about in chariots and horses, and now he has to go on foot in the forest. And he used to eat such wonderful food and drinks over here, prepared by cooks who vie with each other to give him the best food. And now he has to eat astringent and bitter wood foods. Here he wore royal robes, and over there he's going to be wearing deerskin. Here he was in full comfort, and over there he has to sleep on the red soil. How can you even think of something like this? What mistake have I or Rama ever done to you who is always doing you some benefit? And seeing that Rama is plunged in adversity, sons will not have their fathers to protect them, wives will not want their husbands as well. The entire world will get exasperated. I want to see only my Rama. As long as I see him, it is fine. Life may be possible without the sun or without the rain, but no one will survive by seeing Rama depart from here. I have lodged my eternal mortal enemy, a female serpent, and now I am undone. Bereft of Rama and Lakshmana, let you and Bharata rule. You can kill all my relatives and you can bring great delight to my enemies. You have struck a heavy, serious blow. And why is it that your teeth have not yet fallen down and broken into thousands of pieces? Rama does not speak a single word that is malevolent or unkind. And now you are thinking of bad deeds that do not exist in Rama. You have disgraced your Kekeya dynasty. You have uttered very cruel and inimical words towards me. I do not wish to survive you. You are cruel. And there is no life for me without my son. I'm touching your feet. Please be gracious towards me. And then he falls down unconscious again. This is the conclusion of the 12th chapter. In the 13th chapter, he was in a very pitiable position, but then Kaikeyi is very cruel. And she says that you have always spoken the truth. Now, why aren't you giving me my boon? Why are you objecting to it? Dasharatha is delirious, he's angry, and he says that you are my enemy and you want me to die after Rama goes off into the forest. When I die and reach the heavens, when the celestials ask me what has happened to Rama, what should I tell them? Nobody is going to believe me that I sent Rama off into the forest because you asked me to do so. Have you forgotten how much effort I had gone through to make sure that Rama is my son? How can I abandon that particular Rama? How can I abandon the Rama who is valiant and knowledgeable, who has subdued anger and who has unlimited forbearance and whose eyes are like lotus petals? How can I send that Rama who is as dark as a blue lotus, who is Dirghabahu, Mahabalam and Abhiramam, who is enchanting? How can I ask that particular Rama to go off into the Dandaka forest? How can I ask Rama who is accustomed to comforts and not at all habituated to difficulties? How can I ask him to go off to the forest? It's better if there is no life in me, because that would be preferable than seeing Rama go off into the forest. How can you think about harming Rama, who is beloved to me, and nothing but ill fame and disgrace is going to be mine? And then Dasharatha sees that the night is almost approaching with the setting of the sun, and therefore he tells the night, "Oh, I wish that you would just continue to stay and do not come to dawn," because that would mean that he would have to tell Rama that he has to go to the forest. And then on the other hand, he says that if you were to go off and break into the dawn, that would be lovely because I wouldn't have to see my tormentor. So this is the incoherent thoughts that are running through King Dasharatha. And then once again he folds his hands. Once again he supplicates, "Oh, wonderful queen, I am dejected. I am seeking refuge in you. I am an old man. I am a king. Please be kind to me." And he also says, you give the kingdom to Rama and you will attain great fame. This is something that is going to be very pleasing to me, the world, Rama and Bharata, if you were to give the kingdom to him. And Kaikeyi, the cruel-hearted, does not want to hear this from the pure-hearted husband. And seeing this, the king falls down unconscious again. And at this time, the bards and the minstrels, they come over to awaken the king with beautiful music. But never has the time to be a king been so abhorrent to Dasharatha as it was right now. Because if he were not the king, he would not have the kingdom. And if he did not have the kingdom, he wouldn't have to send Rama away to the forest. So even the music is too much for him to bear. This is a recap of what is happening in chapters 12 and 13. Now we will go on to the next section as to how Kaikeyi triumphs. Mangalam Koshalendraya Mahaniya Gunabdeye Chakravarti Dhanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Jai Sita Ram.